Coming up, the UI faces problems due to the potential sale of Mayflower Residence Hall.
And later, a new offensive coordinator is official at the UI.
The weather looks to heat up this week after a frigid and snowy January.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV News.
Thanks for tuning in. We're live on the Daily Iowan and KRUI 89.7 FM.
Due to some technical difficulties, we will have a shorter show with just your top headlines of the day. We will plan to be back to your regularly formatted content on Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. I'm David Consuelos.
And I'm Johnny Valtman. And we're going to bring in DITV's Julia Rhodes, who is also here live in the newsroom with our weather forecast for today. Julia, let's check in with you first.
Thanks, guys. Iowa City faced extremely low temperatures this January with a lot of snow and ice. But as we head into February, it looks like the weather will be heating back up. No more snow or rain is expected this week. However, cloudy skies will remain. Today is projected to hit a high of 36 degrees and a low of 32. Today will be the coldest day of the week as the temperature will heat up from high 30s to high 40s as the days continue. With highs up to 47 degrees I expect that we'll see more students walking to classes and getting fresh air. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Julia, and hopefully we can get some return of sunshine. Rooms for returning students at the UI are limited in campus residence halls. The residence hall is currently for sale. There are discussions to build a new residence hall on campus. However, a location has not been announced. The university says this is not a problem in regards to providing housing to all new students, but could be a problem for returning students wishing to live in the dorms again. A new bill proposed by Iowa lawmakers would require parents' permission for people under 18 to get a vaccine for the sexually transmitted infection, HPV. This proposal has been met with resistance from medical professionals who say that the bill would put kids at an increased risk for health problems. HPV is one of the most common STIs and generally goes away on its own with little to no symptoms, but can lead to several types of cancers. Supporters of the bill say they want to be able to make choices regarding their children's health, and they're worried about the safety of the vaccine. However, several health organizations say the vaccine is completely safe. The 3 people involved in a shooting on Christmas Day have been arrested. On Thursday, the Iowa City Police Department announced the names, and there were no reported injuries. Bhupi, Gupri, and Satnam Singh have all been charged with 1 count of reckless use of a firearm and 1 count of use of a dangerous weapon in the commission of a crime. And on Friday, a Chicago man pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree theft after stealing several items from Carver Hawkeye Arena in February 2023. Carlos Scott Jr. is being charged with stealing a necklace, AirPods Pro, $1,200 in cash, $130 worth of gift cards, and a folding chair from an official area. If convicted, he will face up to 25 years in prison. And David, so the Iowa football team has been looking for an offensive coordinator for 3 months now, and yesterday news broke that they finally found their guy. Who was it, David?
Well, Johnny, the Iowa football team got their offensive coordinator in Tim Lester. Lester was a senior analyst for my Green Bay Packers. In the past season before that, he was the head coach for Western Michigan from 2017 to 2022, where he went 37-32 all time. He does also have a year as an offensive coordinator under his belt back in 2014 when he was at Syracuse.
And David, the Iowa offense, of course, everybody knows it struggled this year. What is he bringing to the table?
While leading Western Michigan, he was the main play caller and a pretty good one, as he had a successful offense. One of his best seasons was in 2020, where he had a 16th ranked total offense and a 9th ranked scoring offense going 4-2. However, he was fired in 2022 after his first losing season with the Broncos, as his offense ranked 122nd in points per game, averaging 16.7. And while the Hawkeye football team hopes to add success in the coaching staff, the Iowa women's basketball team looked all too well in their Taylor Swift night over the weekend. For more on the match, DITV's Brady Barron has more on their matchup against Nebraska, which you can find now on thedailyiowan.com. Looking to shake off the loss against Maryland on Wednesday, the Iowa men's basketball team headed to Ann Arbor seeking revenge against the Michigan Wolverines. Iowa, despite a slow start, finding themselves in a 9-point hole, kept pace with the Wolverines and only trailed by 2 going into the half. Finding the heat, Iowa shot 66% from three-point range in the second half, with Peyton Sanford going 6 and 8 from behind the line and dropping 26. Tony Perkins aided in scoring, dropping 25 and passing the 1,000-point milestone in his career. The Hawks held on to an 88-78 win to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Iowa will hit the road again on Tuesday when they head to Indiana to take on the Hoosiers. And a big weekend for the Iowa track and field team at their annual black and gold meet at the Hawkeye Indoor Track Facility. Senior Callan Walker broke a school record in the 60-meter dash for the 3rd time this season. Walker ran a time of 6.58 seconds to take first place in the event. In the 60-meter hurdles, Grant Conway set a personal record and a meet record, running a 7.7 winning his event as well. On the women's side, senior Kelly Tosick took second in the 3,000-meter run with a time of 10:25. And the Iowa women's gymnastic team defeated Southern Utah on Friday night in a comeback match. However, 2-time All-American Adeline Kedlin went down with an apparent ankle injury. Head coach Larissa Libby had to adjust for the lineups for the rest of the meets. Third-year Alexa Eveling, first-year Ava Volpe, and second-year Bailey Libby recorded career highs. Going into the final rotation of the floor, the Hawkeyes were down 0.575, but ended with a 195.8 to Southern Utah's 195.425.
It was a close matchup, David, and I was happy to see them pull it off, and we'd like to thank you for tuning in to DITV News and listening on KRUI 89.7 FM. We will be back with full newscast on Wednesday. Until then, I'm Johnny Valtman.
And I'm David Consuelos. Have a marvelous Monday.